I qualified some time ago because obviously I'm still very young. Um, so I qualified in Trinidad and Tobago and worked there for 4 years as a teaching assistant. And then I went up to the University of Cambridge, did a residency there, did a master's there, did my MRCBS there, then went into private practice, and then PhD in Liverpool and European board certified. So one of the things that has helped me now is the ability to travel. That's my one big perk, because I don't get paid any money. But I get to travel all over the world. I've been to Chennai, I've been to Grenada, I've been to Belgium teaching, I've been to Paris teaching. So it's good to get experiences from other places. You take the good things, you take the bad things, and you decide which one you want to do, which is what everybody really should do. Yeah. So I don't claim to know the world, and if I learn something, I learn something. It's not a big problem, and I don't mind learning from the person who's sweeping the floor. Right? I think that's the best way to do things, because if you have arrogance, you don't ever continue and grow. So yeah, so my area is reproductive. I'm a specialist, a Royal College specialist, and a European College specialist in ruminant reproduction. So I mean, I can discuss anything, but I suppose what we're kind of looking to do today is to see we have little some fertility issues here on the farm, what we can do. The problem with subfertility is it takes a while to identify and then to address. And a lot of it is shooting a gun and then waiting 2 months to see if the bullet has hit. And then if the bullet doesn't hit, well, then you shoot another gun. Right? So it's not an easy fix. Yeah? So, but there are things that we can try to improve nonetheless, right? So, I just wanted to speak about one of the things we were talking about yesterday was the estrous synchronization protocols. And the main thing about estrous synchronization protocols is they shouldn't be used as I don't know if you know the word panacea for all problems, right? Meaning that they're not, estrous synchronization is not a magic bullet, right? Estrous synchronization is a tool, and it depends on why you want to use it and what you want to achieve. Okay, so we always start with this, which is the basic reproductive physiology of the cow. We tend to go with a typical 21-day estrous cycle, and within that 21-day cycle, you have three waves of growth of follicles. Okay, so the follicles come out under FSH, right, and you get, maybe 10 follicles start to grow, small follicles, and then as soon as they grow, I won't go into detail like I did yesterday, but as they start to grow, one of the biggest one assumes the position and says, I am king, I'm going to do away with the rest of you. So the biggest one is called the dominant follicle, and that starts to grow faster, and it starts to stop the others from growing. So you have this growth of this dominant follicle. Any dominant follicle can ovulate, okay? But typically, only the one at the end here will ovulate, okay? But any of these can, given the specific circumstances. And the specific circumstances that is required for ovulation to occur is the removal of this blue line, which is progesterone, okay? And luckily, we have identified a drug that can do that, which can take that progesterone and just yank it away, okay? And that is prostaglandin, okay? So, our big thing is, our major problem is we never know where we are on this, right? We come and we put our hand in or whatever, and even if I feel a nice big follicle, I don't know whether it's this one, or this one. Yeah? I can have a rough idea that is likely to be one that's going to open. Okay, but I can't be 100% certain. All right. So the issue synchronization protocols that have been developed because you are fighting blind. Okay. So they've been developed that regardless of where the cow is, when you start the protocol, at the end of the protocol, everybody is roughly at the same point. Okay? So that if you have a cow, there was one thing we spoke about yesterday, which is in this first 5 to 6 days, so 0 to 6 days or so is the refractory period. Right? And the refractory period is critical in all species. It's the period when prostaglandin will not work. Okay? The corpus luteum is growing and it's acquiring receptors for prostaglandin, but up until about 6 days in the cow, it won't work. Right? And we utilize that knowledge to develop our synchronization protocol. Like we have different species, like in sheep and goat, it's roughly about 4 or 5. In the horse, it's about 4 days. The horse has a specific advantage in that you can override the refractory period by doubling the dose of prostaglandin. So if you came in within the refractory period and you gave double the dose of prostaglandin, then you can still get the corpus luteum diet, right? When we deal with I know this is a Muslim country, but when we deal with the pig is a very long refractory period. It's 11 days. So it's much harder to work with, because basically anytime you go along in the issue cycle, it's not working. Okay? But 5, 6 days, we could deal with that. Fine. So basically what we were doing last time is we were showing that if I started a protocol, and the big protocols that we have are double prostaglandin, which is PG on day 11, right? We have opsync, which is PG day 0. Sorry, generation. PG is 7 and another GNRH is 9. And then we have, so that's that. And then we have CEDAR protocols. Right, and we'll discuss the CEDAR protocols, which I think you all use CEDARs a fair bit. Okay? So what we're saying is that this protocol will work regardless of where the cow is. So if the cow is here on day 4 or day 10 or day 21 or wherever, whenever I start, at the end on the second injection, all the cows should line up. That's the whole point about synchrony, right? And I have to try and explain to students, you can't synchronize one cow, right? Synchronizing means bringing together. So I can synchronize 2 cows, right? Over the years, the word synchronize has changed a little bit for this. So when you say you're bringing a cow into heat on a certain day, they use the word synchronize, even though it's one cow. So that's where the terminology may not fit exactly, okay? But the real thing is at least multiple cows. So usually if you have 20 cows, you want to try and get on the 23rd of November, everybody coming into eat roughly around the same time. So maybe 22nd, 23rd, 24th, that kind of thing. Okay?